What's up, everyone? If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you've watched one of my other videos, welcome back. This will be episode 1 of my Nightwalker series. I brought this character to 150 previously when I started the Challenger world to get the Empress attack buff for my blaster. I'm going to start with the Afterlands to get the 3 totems. And while we speed through that, I guess we could talk about why I picked Nightwalker to be my next boss mule. Nightwalker is probably the class that I'm most comfortable with, as it was my previous main prior to starting this account in GMS. I used to play Nightwalker when you had to jump while attacking to maximize damage, so occasionally you'll see me jump during my burst, just out of habit. I used to play thief classes a lot pre-Big Bang, and just love the idea of throwing stars. Um, I don't like how spread throw looks though, so that's what pushed me to Nightwalker instead of Nightlord. I also felt the vertical mobility was a little better with Nightwalker. I also think the bossing kit is just a little more versatile, especially with like the backstep and self door. So yeah, the class definitely feels a little different compared to when I used to play it, but I think it will make a great boss mule and might be one of my Legion champions in the future. This set of Afterlands went way faster than my Mihail, probably because of this class's mobility, the bats that help with mobbing, and the free vac pet that Inkwell sent us. Thanks, Inkwell. Alright, so we're level 157 and we have our 3 totems, so let's go ahead and push to level 200. I still have 15 Strawberry Farm tickets left over, so let's see how far they can take us. And one ticket took us to level 199. I was pretty sure at this percent I could do the Haven quest line to hit level 200. And yeah, there we go. Now that we're level 200, let's go unlock our 5th job and get this Vanishing Journey symbol. Okay, so same thing as on my Mihail. I gave this character 5 bill and 500 node stones to get started. I bought some Ilby to use for now until we're able to get the Balanced Furies later on. I was considering buying the white gold throwing stars in the event shop, but 6 bill is a lot for me, especially again being a newer account. And I looked them up and I still like the way Balanced Furies look, so decided to hold off. The next step here was to get my node stones open and start leveling my V matrix. And here is the finished product after 500 nodes. I realized Empress Blessing was from my Mihail and was capped at level 24. So I went over to my Mihail to go ahead and get the Noble Mind quest done to get it to level 30. Honestly, I was pretty confused since I didn't realize that the questline was different for Mihail versus the other Cygnus Knights, but we figured it out eventually. You have to do these trial requests from each of the other like head knights to get 1 level each. And there we go, level 6. And now that that's all organized, let's go fill the rest of my slots up with the boss accessory set. Hakum was a dud. Magnus dropped his shoulder and badge. I got the stone from Hilla. We started Hard Von Leon as well to start collecting the 10 accessories needed for the Noble Ifia ring. Next was the pendant from Chaos Horntail and a Mechanator from Arcarium. I bought a trait boost potion and a legendary circulator from the event shop. I also used the leftover circulators from my Mihail. And we're going to settle here for now. Next was Pink Bean, who also gave us nothing. I did start Ram Remove as well on this character to start getting my Absol fodder. I went to Golux and did normal difficulty, which went by pretty quickly, and then did Vanishing Journey just to try and level my symbol a little bit. I forgot to record this part after I switched characters, but I went over to my main to start the Phantom Forest daily quests so that I could eventually buy and transfer over the Balance Fury Throwing Stars. They cost 100 coins in the shop, and the initial quest line starts you off at 10, and you get 9 coins daily. So in about 8 more days, we will have our stars. Once I finished those dailies, I went ahead and left my Nightwalker in the sauna and headed off. And the next day, my Nightwalker was level 206 through the sauna alone. I was still missing quite a few of the boss accessory set, so I went ahead and did the daily bosses and was able to pick up a set of earrings. After that, the next slot I needed to fill were my ring slots, so of course went over to NLC to grab the Treasure Hunter John ring, and also went and grabbed a few pencilier equips to finish out my equipment. From there, all my slots were filled up, so it was time to go ahead and start my initial upgrades. The first initial stop for everything will be 3 to 6% stat and 12 stars, or if the max stars like the ring at 8, whatever maxes up to 12. I bought some bright cubes to tier up my emblem as well, which went to unique pretty quickly, and used a couple on my secondary to tier it up to epic. Then went back to my emblem, which tiered up to legendary really fast. Afterwards, we bought some glowing cubes to roll the emblem, which rolled IED, attack, and stat within like 6 cubes, which was a great settle point for now. I am going to leave my secondary here at epic, since we will be replacing it with the Princess Snow secondary later on. So we rolled it to 6% attack and moved on. After all the upgrades were done, we ended up at 746,000 combat power. At this point, my friends wanted to go play some Fortnite, so I left my character in the sauna again, which got me up to level 207. From here, I decided to go ahead and use some more Strawberry Farm tickets to try and push this character up to level 220. And here we go. 209, 210, 212, 213, 214, 215, 216, still 216, 217, 218, 218 still, and 219. I stopped here because I wanted to use the last few tickets I had for the upcoming Hyperburn Max we were about to get in the next week or so. I went ahead and bought some more circulators from the cash shop and ended up rolling 20% drop rate, so that's another settle point for now. I used my honor to roll a second inner ability preset to legendary, then used the circulator to roll more, but didn't get anything useful, so I bought some more and still didn't hit boss damage. Unfortunate. Next, we skipped the Reverse City, the Choo Choo, and Yum Yum Island quest lines, and went ahead and did Monster Park until level 220 so that we could finish up the Latch quest line. Now that we had Latch unlocked, I went ahead and did the weeklies and then my dailies. I kind of griefed it by accepting my dailies before this, so I had to kill 300 Vanishing Journey mobs and 500 Choo-Choo mobs instead of 100 and 300. And now that we leveled our Arcane Force, went back and did the rest of the Monster Park at the Latch stage, and went ahead and did Normal Lux, which was also a quick fight. At this point, it was like 3 a.m., so called it a night. Okay, day 3? 2.5? 2.5, I guess, since reset hasn't happened yet. OBS crashed during this recording, but luckily I had a backup on Steam. I decided now that we were 220 to try and test which bosses I could finish. I wasn't entirely sure why I was having such a hard time with Zakmir and ended up dying out. I went back in and cleared him pretty easily the second time, so I don't know. I don't understand that boss. But I got my face and eye accessories, and the power crystal came with luck percent already. So I rolled the eyepiece to 3% and maxed out their stars from there. Went and did Hilla and Cygnus real quick for their crystals. I went to Chaos Pink Bean, which gave me the Pink Bean Cup. I did a little bit of flaming, and we are now up to 1.4 million combat power. I finished out with HMAG, who gave me a Tyrant Cape. I kind of got bored, so I bought some more circulators and still didn't hit boss damage, but decided to just settle on the 10% damage line. I normally like to wait until I have a pink bean soul to do Princess No, but Nightwalker has enough lines to get through the mob stage pretty quickly. And with that being done, I popped a Serum's Elixir, and it was time to go do CRA. I did the first 3 doors and exchanged for my real CRA gear. I used the rest of my leftover bright cubes, which got all 3 pieces to unique, and the leftover glowing cubes to try and get some stat. The hat hit 12%, the top tiered up and hit 18%, and my pants hit 3-line unique, which also gave 18%. I threw a few more flames on the CRA items and briefed myself by accidentally rolling over a 40 and 3, but got a 20 and 5 later on, which is basically the same. I had so many strength lines during this session, which hurt since my main is a blaster right now, but that's how it is. Afterwards, I used the rest of my money to Starforce the gear and push them to 12, then gambled with the last 900 mil that I had to see where I could get it, and the top and bottom went to 15 stars. Since they went to 15, I went ahead and sold my boss crystals and got the hat to 15 as well. And with all of that, pushed us up to 1.7 mil combat power. And now that that was all done, it was time to go ahead and finish up my weekly bosses with Seavel, CPAP, and a Kachi. And there we have it, another Akechi Mule done. The next day was just my arcane dailies and the daily bosses, and where I was finally able to get an SBR. Still missing the belt from Pink Bean though. I decided to do Monster Park on this character instead of my main, as my goal is to slowly push it towards level 260. Anyways, just like I said in my Mihal video, progress is going to slow down a lot from here and will mainly consist of dailies for leveling, gear fodder, and Golux coins. I will be sending updates along the way, but honestly, since the Hyperburn is coming, I'm probably going to end up dropping another episode 1 before a second episode of my Nightwalker comes out. Well, that's it for this episode. If you made it all the way to the end, just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment and let me know what you liked or what you think I can improve on. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.